Welcome. This is Tarot in Paris with Zoe. I'm Zoe. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Subscribe if you desire, and please leave any messages that you would like in the comments section. And certainly if you like videos, don't be shy and press the like button, the thumbs up. All right, so this is a group of messages for the collective, all right? And it is for all astrological signs. It is timeless. So when you come to the reading, this is for you, all right? Take what resonates with you. Please leave behind what doesn't resonate with you. Okay, the cards, as I shuffle them, are very slippery today. I'm asking if this one, nope, keep shuffling, I'm hearing. Okay. This one wants to come out. Okay, what do we have? Never-ending story. Okay. So one of the things that's been happening in the collective, I'm not surprised we're seeing this, is there is this need for people to tell a new story in their life. That there's this never-ending story for many people that they keep looping and looping and looping. And believe me, I understand. We're here on Earth School. I've done this myself, where there is a narrative of, oh, this happened, that happened. I can't do this because of that. There's no way. Like if I do this over here, it's not going to work because I've tried that over there. Like it's a never-ending story. It's time to stop that. It's just time. Like just see the emotion. I mean, I don't want to feel what this person is experiencing in this oracle card. It's this feeling of just I can't take this story anymore. You know, I've gotta get out of this. It's like a quagmire, right? It's feeling stuck. It's feeling like it's not gonna stop, like it's over and over. Like one way this can show up is that you feel like you tried something in the past, whether it's a relationship, at work, or in your own business, or in your family, whatever it is for you, because this is a collective reading. You're saying to yourself, well, I can't do this again. I can't try this again. I can't start dating again, or I can't try for that position again, or I can't go for a new job again, or I can't start a new business again because it failed over there. It didn't work over here, so why am I going to try again? A never-ending story. Just because something didn't work out in a certain way in the past for you does not mean that it's not going to work out in your future or your present, rather, right? It doesn't mean that. One way is to look at the patterns of what happened in the past. Do it differently. If you started your own business, where was it that you could do differently this time? What was the pattern that didn't make it work in your eyes? Okay. First of all, I don't really think there's such thing as a failure. You have to make what humans call failures to make what we call success. You've got to. There's no way around it. It's the hero's journey. Okay. Have I personally felt like something I would have labeled in my past life a failure? Past life meaning in this lifetime. Sure, but then I stop. I'm like, that's not a failure. Look, it's led me to over here. And who's to say in the mystery of life what that led you to? Because usually there's always not just a silver lining, there's a gold lining. I mean, whether you were fired from a job, which at the time can feel devastating, I know, but there's usually not just a silver lining, a gold lining. It leads you to something else. So this never-ending story of, oh, I can't try something new, there's no way, oh, I can't start dating again, no, there's no way, or whatever the story is for you. And believe me, my tone is not mocking anybody. I get it. It's me understanding. Know that if it was something that didn't work out in the past the way you wanted, your expectation, A, may not have been realistic. Like maybe you thought something could happen in a shorter amount of time than it really takes. B, it just wasn't in your highest good. Or C, it wasn't in divine timing. And D, it was maybe just a stepping stone to lead to something else, which in essence, everything is on our journey, right? It's a stepping stone to lead to something else, whether it's the same career, business, or relationship, or people in our lives, and they're still in our life way, 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 way into the future. That's great. But we take stepping stones along the way, and we grow hopefully with those people. We grow with that business. We grow in that career, whatever that situation is for you, whatever the scenario is for you. The point being, though, is there also can be divine timing. And it was reminded to me in my story recently that just because God, Goddess denies something at one point in my storyline doesn't mean it's a no. It doesn't mean it's not ever going to happen. Okay, that's not that's that's not what that means, right? So even if, let's say, you have been choosing to not date, you're single and you do want a relationship, and you've been choosing not to date for 2 years, let's say, I'm just bringing out a random example, I'm not using my psychic powers at this moment, and now you decide, you know what, it's time for me to date. Just because 2 years ago you may have had a breakup, or you may have felt like you weren't meeting anyone that was appropriate for you to date, doesn't mean that the timing isn't right now. Okay, it doesn't mean that. So you can stop telling yourself that never-ending story. You can choose peace, have inner peace, and you can choose to free yourself, meaning free your thoughts, free what's going on in your mind, to create a new start. Okay, let's see what else we have in our beautiful reading. Again, this is for the collective. I'm Zoe. This is Tarot in Paris with Zoe. And it's for all astrological signs. Wow. Again, the cards, I'll tell you, this week the cards have been coming. This card wants to come out too on this bottom. Wow. Okay. Okay. And this card too. All right. So here's the sequence. First, we have the Three of Swords. Do not be scared by this card. This is just a underlined score, bolded, capping what we were just talking about. That apparently there's quite a few of you here that your never-ending story, which we were just talking about, has to do with heartbreak. It has to do with a breakup of a relationship. And now you're getting through it. Because the thing about this card is these swords are, there's no blood in this card, okay? This is already happened. You've already felt the heartbreak. So let's give the scenario of the person who had a breakup 2 years ago, and since then they chose to take 2 years off from dating, and now you want to start dating again. Let's use that scenario, and it can be different things for each of you, of course. You've gone through that heartbreak, okay? And just because something was denied to you in the past, that phrase, rejection is protection, is very, very true. That person could have taken themselves out of the mix and said they knew they weren't right for you. They knew they weren't going to move forward in the kind of relationship that you needed. There's a reason for this. And again, just because you didn't have a relationship back then that worked doesn't mean you're not going to have one now. It just doesn't mean it. And if it's divine timing, again, as I was sharing, just because Goddess may have decided, hey, the timing isn't right for this individual right now for a long-term healthy relationship, that person, whether it's you or someone else, needs more self-reflection, needs to do this over here, needs to do that over there before there's extra bandwidth in order to co-create a healthy relationship. There's so many reasons, right? It could mean that someone's not quite where they need to be, that you're supposed to be with, right? So many reasons. I want to move forward in our beautiful reading this morning. So what I want to just get at is this has now already happened. You've gone through the heartbreak, or if you're seeing this now and it hasn't happened yet, this is something you're going to realize about a past heartbreak that you didn't understand consciously has become a never-ending story for you. All right? And again, as I said, just because Goddess said that the timing wasn't right in the past doesn't mean it's being denied, doesn't mean it's not going to happen in the future. And now we have the Two of Swords. This is you've blindfolded yourself, you've crossed these swords. Oh, wait, I'm going to just put this card like this. You're crossing your arms over your heart. And that's what your never-ending story was. Whether you were fired from a job, whatever it was that gave you that heartbreak, where there was a broken relationship, where there was a misunderstanding that ended a friendship, or at work, or in your family, whatever that heartbreak was, you have since closed off your heart. You're crossing your arms over your heart chakra. But that's going to stop. You're stopping that now, which is beautiful, really beautiful, so that you can move forward in your beautiful life, okay? Let's get I feel like, oh yeah, I've got another deck I want to use before this. I got so involved with hearing all the messages. They come to me so quickly that my lips don't move fast enough. Okay, what else do we have for the collect? All right, this card. Three of Cups. Here we go. Yay! So this is speaking to two different things in terms of this reading. For some of you, this heartbreak had to do with a third party, okay? Meaning you learned that someone that you were committed to or that you wanted to date um, exclusively, or someone you just met that you wanted to date, you didn't realize early on that they were not looking for a long-term committed relationship, that they actually just wanted to date a lot of people. And in some way, there was a third party, which you didn't know, and then you found out. So that's now in your past, okay? And by the way, that heartbreak for some of you was way in the past, and you just now have recently figured it out. Meaning, what I mean by figured it out, meaning it came from your subconscious up to your consciousness. Could have been in when you were sleeping at night and you had a dream and it came up and you thought, whoa, that is why this played out this certain way. They must have been dating someone else at the same time and we didn't have the conversation. I didn't know. There wasn't a conversation that you both had to say what you each want, like what you each want out of your dating life. So you've now moved forward from whatever this was. But now that's why there's the second side of this card in today's reading. Now you're ready for the celebration. Now you're ready for this Three of Cups of just feeling full joy. You've moved beyond the heartbreak. You've come to the other side. The never-ending story has paused. You're writing a new story for yourself. You're writing a new narrative. Whatever this heartbreak was, whether it was in your family, whether it was with you and your dating life, or you and your relationship, or relationships, plural, or whether it was you in your career, whatever this was, or in your school life, whatever it was for each of you, you're stopping that never-ending story narrative and you're writing a new story. And your new story is about celebration. Hey, that happened for a reason. Hey, that relationship was only supposed to last a certain amount of time. It was for a purpose, or it was for a season. It was to exchange certain gifts, but we weren't intended to be long-term. Or I've learned all these life lessons that you've learned. Or, hey, I was fired from that job because I knew I wanted to leave that job, but I was in my comfort zone, etc., etc., etc. All these different stories we tell ourselves in human form. But look, now you're on to the other side. This is your new story, a story of joy, of celebration, of fulfillment, of inner peace, of playfulness. I'm just so happy for everyone. Thank goodness, right? Thank goodness that you had the resilience and continue to have the resilience and the self-awareness to create a new narrative, a new story for yourself. And if you haven't finished writing your new story, meaning it's always going to have new chapters, right? This is your gorgeous life. Then today is the day to start writing your new story. All right. All right. So here's, all right, we have, these cards are so thick. I'm not sure if there's more than one. There is. So we have two animal spirits, stag spirit and starfish spirit. So stag spirit came out first. So we're going to read this first. Stag spirit, take the lead. So what this is speaking to is you taking the lead in this new narrative of your life, your new story, all right? Look at, again, we're talking about celebration because that's what this card spoke to, the Three of Cups. This is your new life. This is the new narrative that we're talking about, all right? Now you're taking the lead in your life. You are the one steering the ship, okay? You're co-creating it with universe, with God, Goddess, with spirit, however you might be in your, however that may be spoken in your belief system, but you're taking the lead. You're not just like, oh, I'm just gonna see what happens. Okay, that's different than you waiting and observing, okay? Just seeing what happens is more of a passive action. Being the observer and waiting and letting things unfold is still coming from your personal power, but it's still a form of taking the lead. You're still very aware. You're still in the know of what's right for you, what's in integrity for you, and what's not right for you, and what's not in integrity for you. And that's what is taking the lead is about. You're the leader of your beautiful life. You're painting the masterpiece, okay? You're co-creating it with universe. You're taking the lead. You're reclaiming your personal power, and that's how you get away from this never-ending story. That's how you create your new narrative, your new story, okay? Your new gorgeous story. And then, this is so amazing. We also have starfish spirit, open to infinite possibility. So talk about believing. I mean, what a great way to finish up this reading today for the collective, for you. What a beautiful way to start writing your new story of just reminding yourself, hey, just because something happened a certain way in the past, I'm not that same person anymore. I've changed. Like when I look at my own beautiful, gorgeous life, who I was, like my identity, my inner world, it changes every millisecond. I don't even know a word in human language for how quickly it changes and evolves. That doesn't make me better or worse than anyone. That just is my personal experience. Yet I always, in human form, have to remind myself to open up to this infinite possibility, infinite being, all that we in our, although our brains are incredibly powerful, there's no way the human mind can understand the possibility of what is really available to us. We just can't. We just can't. So when I mean, I'm laughing because it's just no way. So when I say open to infinite possibility, we have no concept of really what's available to us, but it's infinite. It is. And this is about reclaiming your personal power. It's about telling a new story for yourself, okay? A story with infinite possibilities, and being open to that with the self-knowledge that you now have of who you are, of what's right for you and what's wrong for you, okay? You're going to be very clear about that, and you need to be discerning. So that's it for this reading today. Thank you so much for joining me. Subscribe to the channel, leave comments in the message area, and definitely give a thumbs up to any videos that you adore. Thank you so much. Ciao.